Hiya. So this is just a quick video showing you my WCW World Championship Wrestling Funko Pop Collection. It's not an unboxing, obviously, as you can see, at least these two. In fact, the rest of them are all out of the box. I am hoping to do an unboxing of some different Funko Pops in the very near future, so look out for that, but this is just a showcase of my collection. So when I decided to start collecting Funko, I wanted a theme, a very specific one, because otherwise, if I was just collecting general WWE and wrestling pops, because I know they've brought out some very nice ones of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, but I thought no, it'd get expensive, and I've not particularly got the room, so I'll just stick to a very sort of limited selection. So I thought, well, what was I into as a kid? And I thought, well, I was into WWF and WCW, but WCW probably for a large part of my, not childhood, but teenhood, held a particular place in my affections because that was the show that was on UK television on a Saturday afternoon, WCW Worldwide that is, which looking back wasn't the bestest of wrestling shows, but it enabled British fans pre-internet to be able to keep abreast of most of what was happening in WCW in that sort of mid-90s time period. So yeah, these are the first two Funko Pops that I ever bought, and it's the Sting and Lex Luger 2-pack. I'll show you the boxes at the end of the video. I do save the boxes, even though I'm not someone who insists on keeping the pops in their box. So yeah, this was £15 from Forbidden Planet. Forbidden Planet International, which I'm sure some of you will be familiar with. They've got a few stores dotted around the UK and one in Dublin, I think. A great way of starting the collection off, I mean, and proper old school WCW style as well. You've got the Surfer Sting there, and Lex Luger kind of looks a little bit anonymous, but if you know it's him, then it looks like him, so someone who doesn't know wrestling would just be like, oh, there's a guy there in blue pants, you know, who's that? Sting, of course, looks like Sting. He's got the old 1980s / early 90s surfer, what they call him, Surfer Sting. I was never sure if surfer was his true gimmick, but he was more like a sort of superhero to me. But so nice double pack to start off with. It wasn't expensive, supposedly half price, but I don't think it was ever worth £30. And according to Stashpedia, it's about worth what I paid for it brand new from Forbidden Planet. Oh, by the way, I am on Stashpedia. No one's followed me yet. I've not been on long, but if you want to follow me, my Stashpedia username is Jimmy Barnes, all one word. I will link to it in the description below, so if you're a Funko Pop collector, then please follow me and I'll follow you back, and we can have a look at each other's collections and wish lists and so on. So, moving on. Now, this is my latest one. This is one I only got this morning from America. It is Nature Boy Ric Flair, of course. Now then, you can see an obvious blemish on him. He seemed brand new in box. The box is in very good condition, and really the pop's in great condition as well. I think this sort of slight paint blemish just below and to the left of his nose is probably something that happened in the factory, because to me the pop seemed brand new in box. You know, whether it had been out at all, I couldn't say for sure, but to me being quite a novice at these things, it seemed brand new. But there is a blemish, but it's not, I mean, it's notable close up. From a distance, you can barely tell, really. This is the one I've been waiting for quite a while, so I ordered it from America. This is probably also the one I've probably overpaid for, the only one I've really overpaid for if you take current market valuations into consideration. I don't pay much attention to valuation. It's just if I want something, I'll get it, whether it's dirt cheap or not. And I wanted a Ric Flair. The Ric Flair that's coming out soon, the one which is only supposed to be available with the video game WWE 2K19, I really would have liked that, but I don't think I'd ever get it for anything less than an absolute fortune. So I'll put a picture up of it if I can find one. But that is a really nice one. But this one is nice as well. This one's from 2015, I think. It's Ric Flair in his pink robe. Very nice. Pink to make the girls wink. So yeah, there's a bit of a shame about the paint blemish, but it doesn't feel, I can't really reach across to sort of touch it, but it doesn't feel like, you know, it doesn't feel chipped or anything. It just, they've missed a bit of paint, so is the likely outcome, but it was boxed and sent for sale anyway. So yeah, I like I say, overpaid for this one a little bit, I think, but I did use some money that I got from selling a pop, which I'll get onto in a few minutes. If it hadn't been for the eBay custom charges and the extra postage because it was from America, it would have been quite a good bargain, but adding on the import fees, because it was over a certain value and coming from the United States, that whacked it up. However, I did use some money that I made from selling a Chase Edition pop, so altogether, if you take that into consideration, I'd say Ric Flair, including postage and custom fees, cost me around £33–34, which is a lot for any pop, in my opinion, because when all's said and done, they're just little vinyl figures. You know, none of them should be worth a fortune, even though I know some of them out there are worth thousands of dollars, which is crazy to me. So there we are. Now then, my cheapest pop is Goldberg. Now, I was in two minds whether to buy Goldberg. To me, synonymous with WCW. I mean, he was like the man, as Bobby Heenan deemed him in 1998. Shame what happened really from Starrcade 98 onwards. He never quite sort of hit that level of mega stardom again in WCW, and he didn't really in WWE either. I was in two minds whether to get this Goldberg, simply because, much as I like it and it's cheap from a lot of places, he's wearing his WWE shorts or pants or trunks. You can tell that because there's like the white stripe at the top at the sort of waistband, whereas in WCW it was just all black trunks. But I decided, no, it's because it's a good price and it's Goldberg. People think of him as in WCW ahead of being in WWE, and just because it's a decent pop, I thought, no, he can go in my WCW collection. I'll ignore the fact he's wearing his WWE trunks. So yeah, on eBay, this one was imported from America, but because the value was a lot lower, it was free postage and no import fees. And I think I had a small eBay voucher for this as well, so it cost about £7 something, and that's all in, that's including postage, so he's my cheapest, so nice, inexpensive Funko there. The next one, Chase Edition Scott Hall, of course, the normal Razor Ramon, I should say. Razor Ramon of WWE fame is in, I think it's like a dark pink kind of get-up, waistcoat and trunks. Whereas I wanted the Chase Edition because, obviously, as you can see, he's in his NWO get-up. I kept seeing a few of these on eBay, and the prices were a little high. And then what ended up happening was I managed to buy this, plus the Chase Edition of The Rock, and I'll put a picture up of that, and I'll put a picture up of the exact one that I had, the one in the black jacket. I managed to pick them up both for £45. It was not a double set, but two items in one auction lot, so to speak. So that was the only way I could get this NWO Razor Ramon, as it says on the box, but you know, we know he's Scott Hall when he's in his NWO gear. £45 was what I paid for both of them, which, if you divide that by two, it's a good price for the Razor Ramon Chase and for the Rock Chase. So even though there was only one I wanted, the Rock one was very nice. I never took it out of the box because I just sold it on again straight away. Scott Hall / Razor got added to my collection, and the Rock was sold, and I got about £22 for him. So like I say, the money I got from selling the Rock back pretty much as soon as I received him, I put towards the import fees and postage for Nate there. Really, Scott Hall Razor Ramon cost me technically about £22.50, something like that. And I think postage for both of them was about £3 something. So there we are, Razor Ramon or Scott Hall. I call him Razor Ramon simply because it still says Razor Ramon on the box, which is a bit of a shame. But it's NWO Scott Hall, a great addition to the WCW collection. I really like this pop. I like the stubble effect. And the NWO logo, it just remains cool like 22 years later. Speaking of the NWO, this is the final one in my WCW collection, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. This pop would have come out, what, late 2014, so quite an old one. By the way, the vaulted ones here, some of you will know already. Hogan's vaulted, obviously. Razor Ramon isn't. This one is the chase version, so he's worth a little bit more. Goldberg isn't vaulted, Ric Flair is, and Sting and Luger are quite new. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, I paid £45 for this, free delivery off eBay. I really like this pop. I mean, look at how cool it looks with the shades and Hogan's Fu Manchu tash and his NWO vest. It's great. So £45 it's a lot to pay for a collectible, but I had to have some sort of Hogan in WCW, and there's a couple of other Hogans, one of which is expensive and the other one's really expensive, but I'd associate those sort of red and yellow gear Hogans more with WWE, even though he did wear that sort of gear for a time in WCW. But NWO, that was formed in WCW. Hogan was of course the mystery third man along with Scott Hall there and Kevin Nash. I'm kind of wondering if they might bring out a Kevin Nash pop at some point, and if they do, and his one in his NWO gear, then that'll be a nice trio. I'll have then got all of the original three-man NWO. I don't hold much truck with Stashpedia valuations or any other valuations really. It's worth however much it is you want to pay for it, and I didn't mind paying $45 for this, but apparently at the moment on Stashpedia it's worth about 60 something, so technically, according to that anyway, I got a good bargain by, you know, comparative standards anyway. Here's a quick look at the boxes. They're not really on display, they're quite high up. This is just somewhere I can put them where they'll remain in decent condition, and in case I ever want to put any back in the box for whatever reason. I don't think I'll ever sell any, but I'm not bothered about the boxes particularly. I know a lot of people are. That one's got a nice only at Target sticker on, which would be very rare to find in the UK. That one, of course, NWO Razor, has got the Chase sticker on it, and there's the Sting and Luger 2-pack. I don't mind taking them out of the box. I know some people are funny about it, but I'm not in it to make money or think that I will have a really valuable collection in years to come. I'm just get them because I enjoy whatever franchise it is, in this case wrestling, or WCW to be precise. So yeah, there we are. That's all my boxes for those WCW pops. That's my collection. Like I say, there's some other Funko Pops, and I will do a proper unboxing of those, all being well, very soon when they arrive. I know what they are, obviously. It's not a mystery box, but I'll just unbox them on camera anyway. And they're not wrestling related either, it's a different collection. So that's all I'm going to say on it. As for ones that I want to add to this, well, it's tricky. It's very limited for actual, what I'd call proper WCW wrestlers. I only wanted to get one of each character. Now I've got a Sting, him and Luger, the first two that I've got. There is two other Stings available, both of which are nice. There's the black and white face paint Sting, and my favourite that I've seen is Wolfpack Sting. But I don't know, if I saw either of them going for a song, then I might break my own rules and have two Stings in the collection, but I'm not desperate to, and I doubt I'll see. Certainly the Wolfpack Sting, that's valued quite high, and the black and white Sting I think is getting up there now. So maybe, but I've got a Sting, and he came with Luger, and it's a nice one. It's the 80s/early 90s superhero surfer Sting. Like I said, there is other Hogans, but I'm not bothered about them. I don't want the Razor Ramon, the normal Razor Ramon, because that's a WWE character, not a WCW one. Anyone else WCW was, I'm kind of thinking maybe Rowdy Roddy Piper. I mean, again, he's more of a WWF or WWE character than WCW wrestler, but he did have a fairly long stint in WCW, about four years or so. It's quite an expensive one. I think he probably came out similar time as to Ric Flair, I think. So I don't know. There again, if I saw him going really cheap, otherwise, no. So really, there's nothing explicitly WCW related now that I can get. Whether any be brought out, like ones I'd like to see, maybe a Harlem Heat style Booker T, NWO Kevin Nash. Who else from WCW would possibly have a pop made out of them? I'll probably think of that. There's a Randy Savage one, but it's like old school WWF Randy Savage. If there's a Randy Savage there again with NWO gear on, that'd be a great one to get. Diamond Dallas Page could be one. Even sort of people like Jeff Jarrett, I suppose. It'd have to depend on how they looked and whether I thought they fitted the whole World Championship Wrestling canon or aesthetic or whatever. I don't know, I'm talking crap here. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy Funko Pops and you enjoy this sort of content, then give me a subscribe. Please follow me on Stashpedia, I will follow back. Link is in the description below. So thank you for watching. Look out for my next Funko video, which hopefully won't be too long, maybe a week or two. We'll have to see how good the delivery times are. But thank you very much for watching. This was my WCW Funko Pop collection, and I'll see you next time. See ya!